2.7 to 8 seconds. That's all the time you have to get somebody's attention when you do a flip through. How on earth do you do it? Come with me and I'll show you how. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you found us. Today we are doing part 2 of how to film a journal flip through. And we are actually in the view that you need to be in now to film a great journal flip through. There's a couple of things you need to know right off the bat. 2.7 seconds to 8 seconds. That's how fast you have to grab somebody's attention. If you don't grab somebody's attention in that short of a time span, they're not going to watch your video. So what can you do? One thing, when you start your video, you can say, "Hi, welcome to my channel. Let's get started." Don't sit there and talk for more than that. If you go into some long story and you're doing this with your journal and you're talking about the weather or the day you made this or whatever, your daughter's wedding or whatever, unless you have an established client base, they don't want to hear it, okay? They are there for one purpose, to see the journal you created and maybe to pick up some tips and tricks, but not to hear about your personal life or your daughter's personal life, etc. So you start your video. "Hi, welcome to my flip through. Let's get started." You start by telling them what it is. Is it an altered book? Is it a hardcover book that you took out the insides? Is it a file folder, an envelope? Is it a sewn cover? Is it soft, hard, whatever? You start off by giving them that piece of information. Then you tell them, and by the way, when you start your video, one of the biggest comments I've seen going through different groups is they hate this. "Hi guys, how are you?" You've seen people do this. Now, if there's an established YouTuber and they do that, that's fine. They've been doing it long enough. Maybe the people watching them don't care. Maybe they fast forward through it. If you're a new YouTuber and you want to, or you're a new journal maker and you just want to share your journal, don't do this. Okay? So start talking about the cover. What kind of cover is it? How did you make it? That sort of thing. Now, mine is a hardcover book, okay? That's what you say. "This is a hardcover book. I took out the insides. As you can see, there's the spine. I covered the inside papers with scrapbook paper of 2 different kinds because it was ratty." Okay, the outside cover, I used more scrapbook paper, some fabric from Girl on the Ridge. The spine is whatever, and the back is whatever. That's what they want to hear. Don't sit there and play with the cover for 10 minutes. It drives people nuts. Also, when you're filming a journal flip through, think about how you're speaking, okay? Try to keep the tempo up. Don't drawl out your words. Again, that is something I've read in groups forever complaining about. Okay, so you've described your journal. Open it up. How is it attached? This is actually like a flow journal. It's not attached. It has a band keeping it in because after I fill the signature up, I don't want to have to get rid of the book that I put all the work into, okay? Tell them something interesting. That's interesting. Most people have sewn in signatures. This one is not, again, because once I fill it up, I won't be able to take it out and replace it. I don't want to have to keep making a cover over and over, okay? Tell them something interesting. Then start your flip through right away. Every page does not have to go in depth, but if you have pockets and you want to pull out the ephemera, go ahead. If you want to say, "Oh, I did some stitching around this, it's like a little book," go ahead. And then put it back and keep going. Okay. I sewed a cloth vintage fabric tab on. That's interesting. This page, you can pull it out without talking about it too. Oh, this is some Tim Holtz wallpaper fabric. That's something more to know. This is a tuck spot, so 2 tags together back in its little home. Keep going. You can show stuff. You don't have to talk about everything. This is cool vellum. Now, if you get something from another shop, an Etsy shop you want to share, something you like, this came from Girl on the Ridge. Isn't it cute? It's a little note paper. Okay, you share that, and then you put it back. You don't talk about it for 10 minutes. Keep going. I got this in a swap. It's a cute little tuck spot. Okay, vintage wallpaper. You point out things that are different, or if you know some of your ephemera came from like Tsunami Rose, a kit. Say the kit name, say Tsunami Rose. Now, that's just if you're using products that she sells. If you use a trick to make something like this little matchbook was made following a tutorial on Girl on the Ridge. It has wax on it and everything. You would say, I did this following a tutorial from Girl from the Ridge. Be sure and give her credit, and be sure and link her channel below. It's nice to give people credit if you learn something from them. But you notice we're going through the book. We're not stopping, and we're not discussing in depth every little thing, because people just don't care. This is a coffee stain bag from Girl on the Ridge. Pull it out. I made a heart out of a dryer sheet. That's kind of different. You can do that instead of saying that's ribbon. Everybody can see it's ribbon. Just run your finger up and down it. If you used a lot of somebody's kit that they designed in it, say that at the beginning and then point out the pieces as you go through. This kit, these papers I actually got in a swap, so you might want to mention that. And then I also bought a kit of ephemera that was already made from Girl on the Ridge. And I used that in this and then added things to the kit. Say stuff like that. People want to know that. End of signature, second signature. But you don't have to go in depth about every little thing. That's beautiful vellum. You would talk about that, something different. But you don't have to talk about the weather when you made the journal. You don't have to talk about every little page that you sewed around and, you know, whatever. Oh, this is the time my daughter called. We talked about it, blah, blah, blah. People honestly don't care. They come to see your flip through, okay? So you do it. Now, if you have something cool that you think is cool, like this tip-in bag, you show them that. You pull out the ephemera, which is from, I think it's Tsunami Rose, but it may be from Yvonne White. She sells. Be sure and you check before you do your flip through. You know where all of your stuff comes from, because that's important. You definitely always want to give credit. And remember, there, you've done. This is my flip through. Thank you for being here. Bye. Keep it moving. Don't get bogged down in details that don't matter, like the weather, like your family, anything. They're here to see the journal. Always keep in mind 2.7 to 8 seconds. That's how long you have to get somebody, and that's how long you have to keep them. Keep it interesting. Keep it flowing. That's how you do a journal flip through that people will continuously watch. Now, if you're not giving enough information, they're going to ask questions down in the comments, which is good. Next time, if you have more followers and you want to chat a little bit, go ahead, but watch how many people view it. Watch the kind of comments you get. Watch how many likes you get. You can tell, are you being boring? Are you taking too long? Versus, oh, you did that really well and it attracted people into your video. Another thing, put your camera where it is off to the side. If you film with it in front of you and you're reaching around, be sure you're not banging it. That's another thing. If this happens a lot, people are not going to watch your video. It's annoying. Thank you for being here for part 2. Part 3 is coming up tomorrow. Also, if you just found part 2 and you didn't see part 1, it is linked in a card at the beginning of this video, so definitely go check that out. Take care, have a safe day, and I will see you next time. Bye.